Hi, guys, and welcome to my fifth and final update of Deep Keto Coaching with Crystal Love. I guess that's what we're calling it. So, I have completed 5 full weeks of this Deep Keto protocol with Crystal Love as my coach. If you are interested in the Deeper State Keto program or in coaching with Crystal Love, that is linked below. I will tell you my stats. 5 weeks ago, I weighed in at 183.8. Today, I weighed in at 176.6. So that is 7.2 pounds down in 5 weeks. And from last week I weighed 177.2, so 0.6 pounds down since last week. Am I happy with that? Yeah, to lose 7.5 pounds in 5 weeks, I feel like is a normal, good, healthy pace. I think I would be happier with that if I hadn't seen such a huge initial drop in the first week. But from what I've seen, a lot of people following the Deeper State protocol, I think it's common to have a big initial whoosh in that first week and kind of wiggle around from there. So in my week 1, I lost like 10.5 pounds. In my week 2, I lost 1 pound. And then week 3 and 4, I had small gains, and then in week 5 I had another loss. So I think if I were to keep going, it would just keep getting better. And in fact, I do plan to do the full Deeper State Keto protocol, the 12-week thing, soon. But anyway, I feel good. I do think it was successful. And more than anything, what I have come to really enjoy is learning about my body and learning about what works for me and just feeling grateful for having these experiences. So this protocol in particular, they're very much saying it's like a fat loss protocol, breaks you out of a stall or whatever. If I were marketing this, I would market this as like a energy bursting protocol, because the biggest benefit I found throughout all of this was that my energy was just like through the roof almost every single day. And I have never been on a diet that affected my energy in that way. And I've done a lot of different diets in my life. So that has been really interesting to me because I didn't really believe that that was possible. As far as fat loss, so my body fat initially was 31.5, and today it's 30.1. So 4.7 pounds of what I lost was body fat. So almost 5 pounds of the 7 pounds that I lost. So that's pretty good too. It definitely works for body fat loss as well. But I just, I think that 7.5 pounds in 5 weeks is a good and healthy amount of weight to lose. And I feel like I'm in a good and healthy place to kind of experiment a little. And that makes me really grateful because 100 pounds ago, I needed to lose weight like desperately. Right now, I need to lose weight like a little bit, but I'm no longer diabetic. My triglycerides are good. My cholesterol's good. Everything's fine. So I feel like I have a little bit of wiggle room to experiment with the kind of eating that makes me feel great. And more than anything, the only thing I would say that I've craved has been more protein. And maybe it was because I was on such high protein for so long. But this past week, so in my week 5, I was at 60 grams of protein a day, 10 total carbs, and I think 125 grams of fat. So my eating wasn't very different from the previous week. If you want to look back at what I was eating every day, I stayed pretty regular this week. So my macros, it got easier to reach them. I just found myself craving protein. So this morning I did my final weigh-in, and today I told myself I would kind of eat whatever I wanted. I mean, not like unhealthy, but also not tracking macros. And you know what I had? For breakfast, I had a protein shake with my coffee. For lunch, I had shrimp cooked in butter and some dip. And for dinner, I had carnitas pulled pork with some guacamole. So definitely very protein heavy. And I didn't even track calories today because today was a special day, but I just felt like my body needed more protein. And maybe this is what the refeeds are that they talk about. I'm not sure. I haven't fully looked into all of that, but today was a good protein day for me. As far as going forward, even though I'm no longer doing the coaching with Crystal Love, I do think I will continue to have very low carb, which I've been doing for a long time, but I think I'm also going to do the increased fat just because I really love the energy levels that it gives me. I know it sounds hokey, you guys, but like until you try it, it's hard to explain or maybe convince you how much this really affects your energy level. So I love, I love that. And another thing about what I'm happy about with my weight, with where it is that I really don't feel hopeless. Like I said, I feel like I have wiggle room to experiment with my diet, but I also, even when I had gains in the last couple of weeks, I never had a moment where I just felt like, oh my God, I'm going to keep gaining weight forever and I'm going to end up back where I was. I don't feel hopeless about endless gain. I feel very, very in control of my eating and my body, and I love that feeling. So I would say right now, people often say like, remember your why and remember why you're doing this and think back to what initially started this process for you. I feel like now that I'm in this like maintenance range, my why is to optimize my physical efficiency. You know what I mean? To like physically feel good every day if possible. And so having done this 5-week experiment, I think I found something that really works for me, and I love that. So that was my measure of success, and I think I accomplished it. And the fact that I lost 7.5 pounds, I think, is also pretty good. As far as the upcoming weeks, like I said, I'm going to continue eating low carb, high fat, see how it goes. Next weekend we have some family coming in town. Then I'm going to be in Atlanta for a conference. Then I'm going to be in San Antonio for WLSFA. And then I am visiting my cousin in Germany. And then I will be back to start the Deeper State Keto 12 weeks. So for the next 3 to 4 weeks, it's going to be hard to track macros precisely because there's going to be a lot of eating out at restaurants and things. But pretty good with finding low carb options and just eating low carb, generally speaking. What is still a little bit of some mental work is increasing fat. So I will continue to do heavy whipping cream in my coffee as opposed to the protein shakes. It's also just very filling and very satisfying. So I do really, really like that. And I will continue to cook in butter and add olive oil to things and just generally look for higher fat options. So I'm definitely going to keep doing that. But with a lot of travel coming up and like I said, eating out at restaurants and stuff, it's hard to just track macros precisely. But I'm going to try to replicate this feeling as much as I can because I've enjoyed it so much. So anyway, that is where I am. How are you? How's it going? I've been following a lot of folks who are doing the Deeper State protocol. And like I said, I think a lot of people see an initial big early loss and then maybe a stall or a gain in weeks 3 and 4. So I'm here to tell you that that's normal and that it happened to me too. And I was following everything to the T. So hang in there. I think it's important to remember why you're doing this and to really focus on how you feel. And even though that sounds so sunshine and rainbows, actually think about it. Are you feeling good? And if so, isn't that a good thing? Keep that in mind and stick with it. Trust the process. It works. You're doing great. Having said that, I will continue to make update videos and vlogs and what I eat in a day and full days of eating and things like that. So I'm not going away. I didn't mean to say this is my final video ever. This is just my final video in the series of coaching with Crystal. But I will be back. You guys stay tuned. Thank you so much for subscribing. I really just appreciate all of you so much. So I will talk with you soon. Bye.